The series opens with fictionalized footage of Holmes on trial, but other than these brief asides, the story of Tyrannos is told in a straightforward, linear narrative. From this perspective, The Dropout feels like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can't look away, but you don't really enjoy the sight. Seyfried's interpretation of Holmes is reasonably convincing as she goes to deranged lengths to convince investors, board members, Walgreens partners and her devoted employees that she isn't full of shit. We're also forced to watch as she falls in love with Sunny Balwani, her eventual COO who's 18 years older than her, despite knowing that in 2021, Holmes would tearfully allege in court that he routinely abused her over their 12-year relationship. The Dropout makes it clear that Balwani isn't the hero in the Tyrannos story. But as she dives headfirst into being a CEO, the stomach-turning dynamics of her secretive relationship with Balwani are glossed over in a way that's difficult to watch. The show also recounts Holmes' alleged rape when she was a Stanford freshman in an attempt to contextualize the personal catastrophes that made her so hell-bent on achieving fame and success. She recalled in court last year, "I decided I was going to build a life by building this company." In early episodes, Stephen Fry's performance as chief scientist Ian Gibbons is a highlight of the show. But for viewers who know Gibbons' fate, each of his jovial appearances summons a sense of foreboding. In 2013, Gibbons died by suicide shortly before he was required to testify in a lawsuit about Theranos technology. His widow, Rochelle Gibbons, said that when her husband died, Holmes never reached out. Instead, an office manager just asked that she return Ian's laptop. As we watch Rochelle learn of Ian's death, Holmes no longer feels like a young woman who's in over her head. She's a villain, but a complicated one. The Dropout still tries to humanize her, taking a bit of creative license to imagine personal aspects of her life that we will never know. This version of Holmes that Hulu created mourns Gibbons' death, worries about her company's lack of viable technology and even asks her mother what would happen if she quit Tyrannos. But even in this mildly sympathetic look at Holmes, she isn't a likable character. Streamers know viewers are fascinated by unlikable central figures, however, which translates into views. For instance, Netflix recently released a limited series based on a true story about a young female scam artist.